Paige, and today we have another book-related YouTube video. I am so excited because this is my first like monthly recap video. I decided to sit down and film this video where I'm gonna go through all of the books that I read during the month of October and just kind of talk to you guys about them, let you know my thoughts. I'm gonna, not include any spoilers other than what can be found on the back of the books, and just kind of talk with you guys. I am so excited. I love watching these videos, so I really wanted to film one. So I'm gonna go in order from like the first book I read in October till the most recent book that I read. And I actually haven't read anything since I finished this last book because it was so good that now I feel like I'm in a reading slump. So I just need to force myself to just like open a book and start reading because today is November 1st, and I'm also going to be filming a video about my November TBR. So I'm gonna like talk to you guys about the books that I plan to read during the month of November and kind of tell you guys what they're about. And then at the end of November I'm gonna film another one of these videos and we'll see how close I stuck to my November TBR. So if you guys are new to my channel, hello, my name is Paige. I pretty much mostly film about like makeup and beauty, but I also have been filming book content, some vlog style stuff, and I'm just kind of mixing up the content a little bit. So yeah, there's a loud vehicle driving by, and once again it's pretty late. It's like 9 o'clock. I never film at night, so yeah, this is my third video of the day. I'm feeling chatty, so yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Give this video a thumbs up and let me know down below, what books did you read in the month of October? Please let me know so that I can see what y'all read and then you guys can see what I read. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Also, before we get started, I wanted to mention a couple of things. One, my Goodreads will be linked down below in the description box if you guys want to add me as a friend. Two, I have a bunch of books that I have read or have mentioned. I will have all of these books listed on my Amazon storefront. So if you guys are interested in any of these books today, check out my Amazon storefront, shop for them through there. It helps me out. I get a little commission and it's super awesome. And yeah, so if you would like to support me, you guys can shop through my Amazon storefront. Fourth, I will have my Amazon wish list, my book wish list as well, linked down below so that you guys can see what I am interested in picking up. Also, you guys are more than welcome to send me a book off of my wish list. No pressure whatsoever. There is no need for that, but a couple of you have done so and it is the coolest thing in the entire world. And I always mention them in my book hauls and post them on Instagram, so that will be down there as well. Also, I wanted to give a generalized trigger warning / like age rating warning. These books that I read this month, a lot of them have sensitive topics, and a lot of them are 18 plus, so just keep that in mind. Make sure you look up age ratings, make sure you look up trigger warnings before you read any book. So we're just gonna go ahead and dive in with the first book that I read in October, which literally broke me. This is Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. Oh my gosh, this book. First, I gave it 5 stars. I'm going to be doing star ratings for all of these. This is a 5-star. This is a 10 out of 5-star book. This book was so good. This was extremely emotionally wrecking. Colleen Hoover is the best at like breaking your heart into a million pieces and then like halfway putting it back together. And this book was absolutely fantastic. So this book is about Sky and Dean, and I don't even like oh man, okay, let me breathe, Paige. So I think I'm just gonna read you the back because I don't want to accidentally say something that is a spoiler. So it says, would you rather know a truth that makes you feel hopeless or keep believing the lies? I feel like that is a very thought-provoking question, and if you like really think about it, like, oof, it's a tough one to answer. So it says, Sky, a senior in high school, meets Dean Holder, a guy with a promiscuous reputation that rivals her own. From their very first encounter, he terrifies and captivates her. Something about him sparks memories of her deeply troubled past. There is my alarm. a time she's tried so hard to bury. Though Sky is determined to stay far away from him, his unwavering pursuit and enigmatic, I don't know what that word means, smile breaks down her defenses, and the intensity of the bond between them grows. But the mysterious Holder has been keeping secrets of his own, and once they are revealed, Sky is changed forever, and her ability to trust may be a casualty of the truth. Only by courageously facing the stark revelations can Sky and Holder hope to heal their emotional scars and find a way to live and love without boundaries. Hopeless is a novel that will leave you breathless, entranced, and remembering your own first love. You guys, I feel like that description doesn't even like captivate the just amazing qualities of this book. It's so good. And if you know Colleen Hoover, you know there's a plot twist. You already know there might be a few. But this book is incredible. Very sensitive topics in here. So again, look up the trigger warnings. That's the last time I'm going to say it in this video, just so I'm not overly repetitive. But oh, it's so good. It's so freaking good. Buy this book, read it, you will not regret it. Hopeless is tied for Verity and another book that I'm gonna mention a little bit later for first place for me. Out of all the books that I've ever read, Hopeless, Verity, and Ugly Love are tied for first. I love them all so much. Next we have The Mistake by Elle Kennedy, and this is another 5-star read. Holy crap, you guys, this was so freaking good. And I will say, I was a little bit skeptical going into this book. This is the second book in the Off-Campus series. The first book is called The Deal. I gave that book 5 stars. I loved it so much. Garrett Graham, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So the Off-Campus series is basically about a bunch of different couples. So like each couple gets their own book. And I loved Garrett and Hannah's relationship so much from The Deal that I didn't think anything could beat it. And I don't know that The Mistake beat it, but it definitely showed up. And this one also got 5 stars. This one is about John Logan and Grace. And basically there's like 4 boys that are on the hockey team at Briar University who live in an off-campus house, and each guy has their own book, and then with each guy there's a girl associated. So this is about John Logan and Grace. It was so freaking good. So this book is dual POV, so you get chapters from both Logan and Grace, which is fantastic. And Logan is basically a guy who's all about hookups, you know, casual, easygoing guy, but he realizes that he has some issues that he needs to deal with. You get to kind of know his home life with his family. Obviously he lives near campus, so he has like a separate life at home, and you get to kind of know that, learn about his family. And then you've got Grace, who is younger than Logan, and they kind of have a rocky start, but Logan really pushes for a second chance, and then the rest of the book happens. I'm not gonna go any further than that, but this book is so good if you love dual POV. This is a really easy read. It's also pretty short. It's 280 pages, so it's not like massive. Hopeless was a pretty long book. I feel like Hopeless was thick. This one's 400 pages, so 280 seems like nothing compared to Hopeless. But I plan on reading the rest of the Off-Campus series in November, so I'm excited to continue. But so far, both off-campus books, that sounds weird for some reason, both of them get 5 stars from me. I would totally recommend both of them. Or, you know, all of them, hopefully. But so far, the first 2 are fantastic. Next, we have my very first Tessa Bailey book. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, you should. And if you do, hopefully you guys saw my Instagram post where my boyfriend and I dressed up as Piper and Brendan from It Happened One Summer. Here is a close-up of the cover. So I was Piper, Jarvis was Brendan. I'll pop up the picture here in case you didn't see it. I thought we looked so cute. So yeah, this is It Happened One Summer. This book was phenomenal, 5 stars. It was incredible. This month, wow, this was a good reading month for me. I didn't have any flops. Everything was so good. But again, this is a 5-star read for me. My first book by Tessa Bailey, and it was incredible. This book was inspired by the show called Schitt's Creek. It's like SCHITT''S Creek. So this was inspired by that show, and it was fantastic. I haven't seen the show, but now I feel like I need to watch it because I loved this book so much. I want to see where it came from, like where the inspiration came from. So this book is about Piper, who is, I would say she's like a celebrity influencer status. Like she's not quite Kim Kardashian, you know, I don't think she's at that level, but she's more than just like a social media like YouTuber kind of thing. Like I feel like she's like kind of celebrity, kind of influencer. Obviously comes from a lot of money, and she's a little spoiled, used to a very luxurious lifestyle. And then you've got Brendan, who is the captain of a fishing boat in a small town in Washington, and Piper gets herself into a situation where her stepfather pretty much forces her to go to Westport and kind of like take care of this bar that she inherited from her late father, like her birth father, who passed away several years ago. And Piper's sister decides to go with her, and needless to say, Piper is very out of place in a small town. This is like a grumpy sunshine kind of trope where like he's the grumpy guy, she's like the sunshine kind of girl. I don't know. And Piper and Brendan kind of get off to the wrong foot at the beginning. It's a little bit awkward, but then throughout the book you kind of see their like relationship, like just them two like interacting with each other develop. And it's awesome because Piper is definitely a high maintenance kind of spoiled girl, but she definitely like just like she owns it. Like that's just who she is. And it's really cool. Like she stays true to herself, and I love that for her. And then Brendan, whew, this book definitely has some spice to it, so keep that in mind. But it was so good. I don't really want to say much else because I don't want to give away any spoilers, but it's fantastic and you should definitely read it. Also, Tessa Bailey reposted my Instagram post and I about cried. We dressed up for my friend Alicia's Halloween party, and I was at the Halloween party and I was like, Tessa Bailey reposted me! So yeah, pretty freaking cool. Anyway, moving on to the next book that I read in October, Losing Hope by Colleen Hoover. So I pretty much described hopeless to you. Losing hope is essentially hopeless, but from Holder's perspective, which gives the story like a whole new meaning. So this book is from Sky's perspective. She's the main female character in the book, and then Holder, the main guy, is this right here. This is Holder. His POV is in Losing Hope, and the combination of these two books, you guys, you need to read them. This literally was another 5-star read from me. I have read 5 Colleen Hoover books, and every single one has gotten 5 stars from me. I love Colleen Hoover. If I had to say a favorite author, it would be Colleen Hoover. I love her so much. And I mean, I'm still like newer to reading, so I haven't read a ton of authors. I know Colleen Hoover gets a lot of hype, but like, it's so worth it. Like, she deserves all the hype she gets. So Losing Hope is fantastic. Definitely read Hopeless first and then Losing Hope. She has a couple of other books that are like connected to this storyline that I need to read. So I think Finding Cinderella is the next one, so I need to buy that so I can read that. And then All Your Perfects is somehow connected, I'm pretty sure. Colleen Hoover has like a graphic on her Instagram where it shows all of the books that are connected and like what order to read them in, and then it shows her like standalone books. Like Hopeless could be read as a standalone, but it makes it a million times better when you read Losing Hope, which is just so good. So definitely pick up both of those. Read Hopeless first and then Losing Hope second. And my camera battery is gonna die. I've been talking too much. I'm gonna go switch that and then I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, and the next book that I have to talk about is called Witch Please. I gave this book 4 stars. I thought this book was really, really good. Like, I loved it. My rating system is kind of, I don't even know. It just kind of like whatever I'm feeling at the end of the book, like how much I enjoyed it. 5 stars is like, this book made me cry, or it was so fantastic. Like, amazing plot twists. Like, just, I loved it. Like, I absolutely loved it. That's 5 stars. 4 stars I feel like is pretty much that, but like maybe there's like 1 or 2 things that I didn't like absolutely love about the book, or maybe something I wish was different. I don't know. But I gave Witch Please 4 stars. I would still highly recommend this book. I thought it was so freaking cute. This is about Danica Waterhouse. She's a witch. And after a messy breakup, Danica makes a pact with her cousin, and the pact is that they'll keep their hearts protected and have fun without involving the overly opinionated and meddlesome Waterhouse matriarchs, which are like their mothers and their grandmother. So, you know, she gets her heart broken, she makes this pact, but then Titus comes into the mix, and Danica and her cousin have like a little repair shop where they like use magic to fix things. And Titus has a bakery, and it's called Sugar Daddy's, which is so freaking cute. And he has a tragic loss of his own, and so he just pretty much has his sister and his bakery, and he feels like he has this romantic curse where, like, you know, he's doomed to be alone forever because every single like partner he's had has ended up terribly. Like, it's just failed every single time, and it's like for these crazy reasons. So he's like, oh, I have a curse. But this is a world where mundane or like non-magical people don't know that real like witches or magical people exist. So he's saying like, oh, I have a curse, like in like kind of a joking way, but like little does he know, like Danica's a witch with actual magical powers. But he meets Danica, and there are instant sparks. Their attraction is irresistible, and for him, she's the one, but to her, he's forbidden fruit. And that's kind of because of the whole like she's a witch, he's a mundane kind of guy. The book goes into a deeper explanation of that. And then it says, can a modern witch find love with an old-fashioned mundane who refuses to settle for anything less than forever? So this book is really, really good. There's a lot of LGBT representation in the book. I won't say like a lot, but I mean there's quite a few characters that are represented throughout the book, which I think is really cool, and it was super interesting. There were some spicy scenes, and I really liked it, so it got 4 stars for me, only because there's a couple moments where I was like, I just felt like it was taking too long, and that might be the nature of the book. I don't know. I haven't read a true like slow burn book before, and I feel like this was just like a little bit more of like a slow burn. Like I was just ready for them, you know, like to do whatever they were gonna do, like either be together or not. Like I just felt like it took forever. But it was still really good, and I think that might have just been the nature of the book, and it just kind of wasn't my preference, but I loved how this book turned out. It was fantastic. I would definitely recommend it. Next, we have Turbulence by Whitney G. This is the first book that I ever tabbed. I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but I use little tab things. I'll try to link these as well on my Amazon storefront if you're interested. I got them from Amazon. I got some really cute colors. So this book was my first Whitney G book. This is definitely an 18+, very spicy book. I think it might be considered like erotica. I don't know. I'm not like super familiar with genres yet, but this was fantastic. This book I gave 4.5 stars, and this was a pretty thick one, I feel like. This was about Jake Weston, and I already forgot her name, Jillian. So I'm just gonna go ahead and read the back since it's like pretty short. It says, strap yourself into the cockpit for the flight of your life via the newest erotic romance from New York Times bestselling author Whitney G. Okay, so it's an erotic romance. Jake Weston and I met under a cloud of cliches. A boy meets girl, a boy charms girl, a boy screws girl. He was the sexiest, cockiest man I'd ever encountered, but I had no idea he was a senior pilot when we first met. No idea he worked for the same airline and had secrets just like me. After a passionate night of of things. I thought I'd never see him again, but when I did, neither of us could walk away. We weren't supposed to be together. We definitely weren't supposed to fall in love, and yet our turbulent and forbidden love affair took on a life of its own. We knew we could potentially crash and burn, but what we had was so intoxicating and inescapable that we were willing to risk it all. This is us. This is our messed up love. This is Turbulence. So this was really, really good. Like, I loved it. I didn't know what I was expecting from this. This was actually a book that I read for like a little book club that I have. I guess it's a book club. It's just small. But it's a little book club that I have. Well, it's not just my book club, but it's with a couple of people that are like from my Twitch fam. And we decided to start a little book club and like pick one book a month and read it together, and you know, have a little call, like a Discord call, and discuss the book at the end of the month. And I was actually considering making another book club, potentially like a YouTube member book club or like Patreon book club. Let me know your thoughts if you guys would be interested, where like we would just pick like one book a month and then read it, and then we could either do like a little stream, like a live stream, or Discord call or something. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. And yeah, I think that would be something really cool to do. Like, I'd love to do an exclusive live stream for the book club, and only like the members can like access it, and we can all talk about whatever the book is. So yeah, I don't know if I explained that very well, but let me know your thoughts. I'm definitely down to do it, so if you guys think that that would be fun, let me know and we can definitely do that. But I read this for a book club. It was a recommendation by Whitney G, who I have talked about multiple times on my channel, and she loves the erotic romance type stuff. So I kind of expected this to just be like a lot of erotica and not a lot of plot, but this actually had a fantastic plot, and there was so much like substance to this book, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I gave it a 4.5. I was like trying to think like what could I like why didn't I give it 5 stars? I feel like there was like a little bit of like back and forth, but again, that's kind of like it needed to happen for the sake of the book. It also, like, the main guy, I don't know, he's just not like my ideal kind of guy. He's very like dominant and like cocky is the word that they use to describe him. So it just was different for me, but I thought it was fantastic. It was fantastic. I would highly recommend this book if you're 18 or older. And finally, the last book that I read this month was Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. 5 stars, you guys. 5 freaking stars. This was incredible. This, oh my god. Oh my god, I can't believe it took me so long to read this. I decided to read this because November 9th is coming up, and I plan on reading November 9 by Colleen Hoover on November 9th. And November 9 and Ugly Love are both standalone books. However, I heard that there's some sort of like character crossover somehow between the 2 books. And Colleen like recommended that you read Ugly Love first, and then the crossover occurs in November 9. So that's why I read this first. I did not expect to love this as much as I did. I didn't even read the back of the book before I started reading this. Oh my god, you guys, it was so freaking good. This is another pilot book, which I read right after reading Turbulence, so it was like kind of ironic. But this book was freaking incredible. This is about Tate Collins and Miles Archer. Miles is, oh my god, he's amazing, but also I hate him. Colleen writes characters so well. It's like, if you know, you know. But I was telling my boyfriend about this book as I was reading it. Like, I gave him updates after like my reading sessions, and so he basically knows the whole story because I like summarized it for him. And even he was like, oh my god, like no way. And he seemed to enjoy the plot as I was telling it to him. And then after I finished, I was like, I think Miles might be like my new favorite like book guy, like my favorite guy in a book. And then Jarvis was like, you know what, I'm like, I agree, like that's accurate. And And I just thought that was kind of funny. But this says, it's not exactly love at first sight for Tate Collins when she meets the tormented and secretive Miles Archer. They wouldn't even go so far as to consider themselves friends. The only thing Tate and Miles have in common is a mutual physical attraction that can't be denied. Once their desires are out in the open, they realize they might have stumbled on the perfect no-strings arrangement. He isn't looking for love, and she doesn't have time for it, so that just leaves the stuff. You know. Sorry, I'm sorry that I'm not saying like certain words. I'm a pretty PG person, and my channel is definitely like family friendly most of the time, so I just kind of feel weird like saying these things on camera because I'm not used to saying them. So anyway, okay, sorry. What they've got could be surprisingly satisfying as long as Tate can stick to the 2 rules Miles has for her. Never ask about the past, don't expect a future. They think they can handle it, but everything is different when real emotions start to change the equation. Hearts get infiltrated, promises get broken, rules get shattered, love gets ugly. And the cover of this book has so much meaning once you read it. Like, I didn't even notice it until after I finished reading this, and then I went to like pick it up to like move it, and I like looked at the cover and I was like, oh my god. So yeah, this book is freaking incredible. Also, there's actually a song that somebody wrote for like this book. I read about it in the back of the book. There's like a website that you can go to. I just looked it up on YouTube. I looked up Ugly Love, Colleen Hoover, and there was like a song with like lyrics. I forgot who sings it, but he like wrote the song for the book, and it's kind of like, you know, I don't know, it goes hand in hand with it, and so I would recommend listening to the song after you read this book. I think she has a couple of books that have a song written by this guy and sung by this guy, so yeah, I don't know, it is a little extra special touch. 5 stars, I don't know if I said that, but it was incredible. It's kind of funny because all of the books that I read this month are like blue. Like, they all have a blue cover, which I definitely did not do intentionally, but look at how good they look together. So this month I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books, which is absolutely insane for me. I only started reading like 2 or 3 months ago, and I've read 13 books, well, August, so August, September, October. So I started reading 3 months ago. I've read 13 books in 3 months, which might be like half of what some people read in a month, but that's a lot for me. And you know, even if you read like 1 page in a month, like, I'm proud of you. So yeah, I feel like this is a lot. Like, this was a ton for me. I don't know if I'm gonna read this many books this coming month or more. I have no clue. But this was a very successful month of reading. Like I said, if you're interested in any of these books, check my Amazon storefront in the description box. They'll all be linked there. Same with my Goodreads and my Amazon wish list, and I think that's pretty much it. I have a couple of book videos on my channel. They're all recent, so if you just kind of scroll on my channel, you can find some like book hauls. That's pretty much all that I've filmed so far, is book hauls. But I just bought a bookshelf, so I'm gonna do a vlog building the bookshelf and then organizing all of my books onto the bookshelf. I think it's gonna be so fun. And I have some other book content planned as well. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. I love you all so much. I'm so happy that so many of you love the book content because it's so much fun for me to film. Reading has become a huge part of my life over the last few months, and I used to never read, like, ever. Like, I probably read like 2 books my whole life prior to the last 3 months. So yeah. Anyway, that is it for me. I love you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.